Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Rookie recap, Spencer Anderson. When an offensive lineman is selected in the 7th round, the immediate thought by many is they just won't be able to make it, won't be able to find a spot on the roster. At best, landing on the practice squad until they settle in is an option. But tackle Spencer Anderson beat the odds. Anderson, the Steelers' final pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the 251st pick overall, made the team's 53-man roster and spent the entire season on it. While Anderson didn't see a lot of playing time, with very few snaps on offense while seeing more on special teams, he did play in 8 games as well as the team's AFC wild card game. One of the biggest things Anderson brings to the table is his versatility. He has the ability to play all 5 positions on the line, although tackle is his main spot. But when it comes to dressing an extra offensive lineman, that versatility is a key. "It does help me a lot," said Anderson. "A lot of times teams only carry 7, 8, or 9 offensive linemen, and most of the time guys aren't able to snap the ball or play guard and tackle. Some guys are only position specific. Me having experience at all 5, even a handful of snaps at left tackle, that helps me a lot. Snapping the ball, a lot of guys don't like to snap the ball or have the overall knowledge for it. I pride myself on being a football nerd. I pay attention to defensive coverage. I pay attention to tendencies. Little things like that. When you know it, it slows the game down. It helps you a lot. You aren't processing as much in your brain and the game comes easier to you." Perfect NFL trade Steelers must complete in 2024 offseason. The Pittsburgh Steelers are steeped in history and tradition. As such, the upcoming 2024 offseason emerges as a pivotal juncture for the franchise. They have a chance to execute a bold move that could redefine their 2024 trajectory. Following the conclusion of the 2023 season, the Steelers stand at a crossroads. A prime trade opportunity looms on the horizon. This can infuse vitality into their offense and propel them back into contention for championship glory. The 2023 season proved tumultuous for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They endured offensive struggles, the mid-season dismissal of offensive coordinator Matt Canada, and the ascension of Mason Rudolph to the starting quarterback role. December also witnessed unexpected losses to 2-win teams. This fueled speculation about the future of head coach Mike Tomlin. Nevertheless, true to form, the Steelers rallied late in the season. They managed to clinch another non-losing record and secure a playoff berth with their 10-7 tally. As the postseason dust settles, it's time for Tomlin and general manager Omar Khan to roll up their sleeves. Sure, the Steelers remain poised to vie for the AFC North crown next season. However, they must first navigate the intricacies of free agency and the draft. Historically, the Steelers adopt a measured approach to the trade market and early free agency. Yes, the franchise remains open to acquiring elite talent. Still, exemplified by the acquisition of standout safety Minkah Fitzpatrick in 2019, it refrains from extravagant spending. Given their cap constraints, the Steelers should focus on the second and third waves of free agency. In the event Khan can muster significant cap space, the Steelers may target premier cornerbacks like Jalen Johnson or Stephon Gilmore. Pursuing cornerbacks on expiring contracts also presents a viable option to address their secondary. They can consider guys like Charvarius Ward or Jonathan Jones. Of course, there's also the promising potential of rookie Joey Porter Jr. Realistically, the Steelers should secure free agent bargains. Players like cornerback Rock Ya-Sin, linebacker Bobby Wagner, pass rusher Yannick Ngakoue, and defensive lineman Denico Autry emerge as feasible targets. Having said all those, though, quarterback continues to remain a wildcard for Pittsburgh. Yes, reports suggest the Steelers maintain faith in Pickett. However, his lackluster performance and subsequent benching cast doubt on their conviction. Tomlin's preference for Rudolph in the playoffs hints at a divergence from Pickett's potential. Should a quarterback with higher upside, such as Justin Fields, become available, Pittsburgh may explore the possibility of fortifying their quarterback arsenal. Here we will look at the perfect trade that the Pittsburgh Steelers must complete during this year's 2024 NFL offseason. Securing the right quarterback stands as a pivotal concern for all NFL teams. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, addressing this issue could shape their 2024 season profoundly. With Pickett's struggles and the uncertainty surrounding Mason Rudolph's future as a free agent, the quarterback position looms as a significant question mark. Failure to secure a competent starting quarterback could undermine the Steelers' prospects for the upcoming season before they even kick off. The imperative next step for the Steelers is to pursue a new quarterback who will, at the very least, provide robust competition for Pickett and potentially Rudolph. Since Ben Roethlisberger's retirement, the Steelers' quarterback situation has been subpar. It has become the primary obstacle hindering the team's progress. Recognized as the most crucial position in football, the absence of a proficient signal caller severely compromises a team's competitiveness. To realize their aspirations of becoming genuine Super Bowl contenders soon, the Steelers must effectuate a substantial upgrade at quarterback. The acquisition of Justin Fields could represent a decisive stride toward remedying this critical deficiency. Since his selection by the Chicago Bears in the 2021 NFL Draft, Fields has navigated a fluctuating trajectory in his career. Renowned for his mobility, Fields has encountered challenges in the passing game. That's albeit displaying glimpses of promise for the future. Keep in mind that his tenure with the Bears was marred by inadequate offensive line protection and subpar coaching staff. These factors may have hindered his development. The reality is that the Steelers cannot afford to wait for Pickett's maturation or rely on fortuitous quarterback acquisitions. Remember that defensive stalwarts such as Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and Minkah Fitzpatrick are nearing the twilight of their primes. As such, the Steelers' Super Bowl window may be rapidly closing. Urgency dictates that the Steelers capitalize on this opportune moment to position themselves as formidable contenders. Should the Steelers secure a quarterback of at least average caliber, they could emerge as a formidable force in the forthcoming season. Fields is worth the roll of the dice here. He possesses the athleticism to inject a new dimension into the Steelers' offense. His agility would also alleviate pressure on a burgeoning offensive line. Meanwhile, his arm strength presents an asset, albeit accompanied by areas for improvement in decision-making. Steelers urged to pursue projected $81 million star. The Pittsburgh Steelers were not one of the teams that spent March 5 agonizing over what to do with their franchise tag for the 2024 NFL season, but one decision that was made official on March 5 could have an impact on their future. The Miami Dolphins chose not to use the franchise tag on Christian Wilkins, which gave the star defensive tackle the chance to test free agency this offseason. The move came as a surprise as Wilkins has been a standout player for the Dolphins over the last few years, and they weren't using the tag on anybody else. Now teams around the league will have the chance to try to add some star power to their roster. Steelers Nation Stuart Miller Davis believes that Wilkins hitting free agency provides the Steelers with an opportunity they should capitalize on this offseason. Wilkins has been a solid starter for the Dolphins since they picked him 13th overall in the 2019 draft. His rookie year saw him make 56 tackles and add in a couple of sacks. However, it was his third year in the league where he really stepped up his game. He made 89 tackles in 2021. 10 of them were for a loss. He also added 4.5 sacks and 17 pressures. The following year, he reached 98 total tackles with 16 for a loss and also had 15 pressures. In 2023, Wilkins was once again a nuisance for opposing offenses and really hit his stride as a pass rusher. His tackle numbers came down, but he was still able to reach 10 tackles for a loss. As a pass rusher, Wilkins had 9 sacks and 30 pressures. After proving that he can be an asset against both the run and pass, Wilkins is sure to get plenty of attention when he hits free agency. He just might not be the right move for the Steelers in 2024. At first glance, signing Wilkins seems like a great idea for the Steelers. They need reinforcements on their defensive line for the 2024 season after a disappointing 2023 from Larry Ogunjobi could convince the team to move on from him. They also need to start planning for the future of their D-line. Cameron Hayward is going to be 35 years old during the 2024 season and spent last season fighting through a major groin injury. Next season could be his last in the league. The team needs to start making plans for how they're going to replace him. However, Wilkins might not be the answer. First, there's the cost. Spotrac currently has Wilkins projected to make just under $81 million over 4 years on his next contract, and that could actually be low. It would be a lot to spend at a position that isn't necessarily an urgent need for a team that doesn't have a ton of cap space. The other issue is actually Wilkins' age. The star DT has only played in the NFL for 5 seasons, but he's already 28 years old. That means that he could start showing signs of decline before a 4-year deal would come to an end, and even if he doesn't, the Steelers would probably still find themselves looking to replace a star DT again in 4 years. There's no question that Wilkins would make the Steelers a better team for the 2024 season, but this move seems like a luxury that the team simply can't afford right now. And you fan, what do you think of the Christian Wilkins situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.